Yeah, there's one of the biggest club companies in America is called 24 Hour Fitness. And 24 Hour Fitness is based out of California. And the way that company evolved, there was a small group of clubs of 34, and they acquired an 87 club chain called Family Fitness. That's where I knocked the name off from, to be honest. I like that name. So he had 87 clubs, and he sold them to this group, and it became 24 Hour Fitness. His two sons hated the bureaucratic organization of a big company and wanted to get into business for themselves. One son chose Columbus, Ohio. The other one chose Tampa. And so Dad, the entrepreneur that built the 87 clubs, is coming to town, and I thought, I'm going to go out of business. I've got this hand-me-down club in Tyrone, the Brandon Club that doesn't have any air conditioning, or didn't. So anyway, I called him up and I said, oh, I heard you're coming into town. I'd love to meet you, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we had a chemistry when he came into town, and he didn't have a home office. Well, we already had 6 clubs, and we agreed to provide his payroll, his accounting, his bookkeeping, write his checks, manage his front desk check-ins. We had all the systems in place, and we charged him 8.5% of his revenue to do it. But we learned everything he was doing, and he was all month to month. And I hated the two things I always hated in the health club business were the health club contracts and the aggressive sales. So to be able to get rid of contracts was a goal I'd always had. So when we learned how they did month to month, we naturally transitioned into that. But we only had that club to judge the value of it. It was a tremendous leap of faith for us to take 6 clubs where you rely on these 1-year and 2-year contracts to keep people locked in, knowing that they're paying for something they don't want to use. Now you're going to let them quit at any time. But we felt that we were service-driven enough and in touch enough with our members that we could take that risk, and it absolutely exploded our company further. And we had an enormous number of people joining, and they were professional people who didn't like the nonsense of a contract, and we later on acquired that club.
So you got the Sons Club?
Yeah, we got the Sons Club later, and he still is a friend of mine to this day, Ray Wilson, and again, another gentleman that I wouldn't be here today wouldn't be where I am today if he wasn't willing to help me learn. So.